My first question is, what was your first experience with house and techno music, and why did it speak to you in such a way that you wanted to be a DJ and a producer?
Yeah. So my first experience as a DJ, you mean?
Well, just the first time you ever heard like the music, you know, that it really resonated with you.
Yeah. So at the age of 23 years old, I met a friend of mine because I was a football player in the past. Yeah. And I know it's crazy. Yeah, and she lived in my house all the stuff like boots, so monitors, turntables, mixer, and yeah, and for me that moment was so nice because of course when I opened the box, I was like a child, you know, was, oh my God, that's all mine now. So what I have to do? So I text a message to some DJs. At that moment, I lived in Perugia. That is a city very close to Rome. And one of these DJ told me, yeah, you have to come with me and I will teach you, you know. So I started like this, like a person that wants to learn how to teach. So, of course, in the past, I played piano. I played piano for 10 or 12 years, yeah. I studied at conservatory. I don't know if is the correct term in English is the same.
Yeah, it is.
It's Conservatorio di Musica, you know. Mm-hmm. And so my passion for dance music was born, I think, when I was 15 years old. Yes, something like that. Then at 23 years old, I started to buy vinyls, and now I can stop. I never stopped. No. Yeah, I love vinyls. I love buying vinyls, and I think it's very great for a DJ doing this because you learn a lot of things. And the music from the past is very interesting. So that's why.
So they left you all of the equipment and a bunch of vinyls for you to start DJing on your own. That's
yeah. But after 6 months, she come back to my house, and of course I had to buy for myself all the stuff again. But that's fine, you know.
You were already hooked for sure. I mean,
it's only an opportunity, you know, to start for me. So
what was the name of the DJ who helped you to learn, the one who invited you to the club? Is it anybody like very recognizable?
It's not, I think it's not so famous, but he's a very nice person and he has a lot of vinyls and I love him. And the name is Tomiol. He's from Perugia, is a resident of nice party and there called it Bella Ciao. The owner is DJ Ralph. Maybe you know this name. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I certainly couldn't imagine just getting the whole setup, everything you need. I mean, even if it was only for 6 months of just like having it to play with, that must have been so fun.
And I remember that when he's teaching me this job, this profession, you know, he told me, you are very talented because, wow, you has to do all this stuff in very short time, you know. So I think was my final, you know, parts.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned that you were playing piano when you were younger, and I also read that you were playing oboe, maybe some other instruments. How did that kind of influence your connection to dance music, both as a producer and a DJ?
I think a lot because when I played piano, I remember that I feel, you know, that energy. And when you're a DJ, a lot of people thinks that it's different from playing an instrument, but it's the same. I think it's the same because you start a kind of connection with people, and when you mix records together, it's like the same emotion, you know. And of course, influenced me a lot because when you are a producer, you have to be creative, of course, but you have to understand how to make music properly. That's important to when you played an instrument in the past or now, you know, it's very important to think. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, both of the playing instruments and the DJing, it's still like a physical thing, you know, in the live space, you know, whether you're, you know, especially with vinyl, you know, flipping them over and finding matching up the beats and all that stuff. It's different, but it's the same as, you know, playing any instrument where you're using your fingers or your breath or anything like that, for sure.
Yeah, and you have to think about the music when you're playing, you know. It's like a creative moment. In fact, when I play, I usually play, I never record a DJ set before. Yeah, of course, I study my music, but I can't prepare a DJ set for a place that I don't know, you know. So I love improvisation and stuff like that.
You're saying you wouldn't like do a mix for like the radio, like pre-recorded? That's not something like you'd be interested in because it takes that kind of aspect away from the craft?
Of course, yes. Yeah.
Cool. How would you describe the house and techno scene in Italy? And I mean, as I become more knowledgeable and more experienced in the scene in general, I'm definitely learning more how, you know, active and vibrant that it is. But to someone like me who's American, you generally only hear about in Europe, like Amsterdam and the UK and Germany. So I'd love to hear from a native Italian what the scene is really like there.
Of course, Italy is a different market from all the others, I think. So you mentioned the Amsterdam, France, and London. Yeah, I think Italy is very different because we have huge party with huge names on there, and people are going to this place for DJ star, you know what I mean? So we have no club culture. In the past we had, of course, I'm a resident of Cocorico, and Cocorico was a symbol in our culture, dance music. But at the moment, all is changing. Also after the pandemic, you know. I think in the entire world, but in Italy, we had some problems after that. Yeah, a lot of clubs are closed. So, you know.
Do you see it kind of coming back in a way now that things are generally lightening up in terms of events opening in places? Do you think
I think that we have these big events, of course, with big names, but I don't know. I really don't know if club culture will come back. I don't know, because we don't have the movement, you know. Also me as a DJ, I don't share music with other DJs. We don't have the record store when we met together, you know, and doing stuff together. This is not, in this place is not happening, you know. And I suffer a lot for that because I lived in Brussels, and I remember when each Friday I went to a different record store and met people, and you know, we create like a good connection and relationship with people, and learn a lot of things. I usually have some friends that are interesting collectors in Italy, and I buy some stuff from that, but that's it, you know.
Do you think with younger talented DJs like yourself kind of coming together, do you think it could rise to that same level as other European cities with more record stores and that kind of thing?
I don't think so, because I'm one, and this is gonna be created when a lot of people want these things, you know. At the moment, all the people that are listening to my music in Italy, I think doesn't want this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have this feeling good for that things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about the crowds in Italy? Like when you play at Cocorico versus...
Yeah, they are crazy. They are crazy. Yeah.
Those are good.
Jumping all the time. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
very, very good crowds. Yeah. But different. One of my best crowd is in Lithuania. I played a very interesting festival called Ant Bangas, and all the people dancing like, you know, when you dance, that you are doing a lot of movement, you know, with your body. That is for me dancing, you know. Yeah, and was the same in Belgium, was the same, not in, maybe I'm also in UK, but Belgium, Kiev in the past, now his the situation is horrible. Oh my God, I don't want to talk about that, but it's very, yeah, oh my God. But Lithuania also has a very nice crowd. Yeah.
I mean, it seems like in a lot of ways, the common denominator is you and the kind of music that you play and the passion that you bring to the sets that leads to that kind of very expressive dancing.
Yeah, of course, yes.
You mentioned your residency at Cocorico, and I'm wondering, just how did that come about? How did you get the residency? How often do you play there?
The art director called me and asked me these things. Do you want to do this? And yeah, I answered like yes, but you know that club has a huge history. So my first gig on there was like, oh my God, what I have to play, old school stuff, new school stuff. And my actual style is to merge these two things, you know. I usually play new stuff, mix it to old stuff, and it's very nice. Yeah, it's hard to do it, but it's very nice because the harmony are different, you know. But it's interesting. Yeah.
And so is Cocorico like a really good place for you to experiment in that regard of mixing those two different styles and coming up with your own unique style through that?
Yeah, of course, yes. Has a huge sound system, and the board is perfect. And when you play there, you have this pyramid in front of you that is wow, you know.
I mean, it sounds amazing. I unfortunately have never attended, but I will add,
to come one day.
I will add it to the list. I promise. Who are some other DJs you've played with during your residency? Other DJs who play there?
Yeah, during my residency, I play just only with Jack Master because we have a good relationship, and he's a nice person. I love his style because it's very versatile and eclectic as a DJ. Yeah, I played also with Moxie, but in Paris. It was amazing too. And that's it, I think, yes.
How did you first come to meet Jack Master and develop that relationship?
Yeah, I met him in Rome in a party when he was playing, and I was playing before him. And I remember his face when he saw me DJing, with 3 vinyls, and he told me, "Wow, you're such a great talent. You have to come with me in Glasgow." So he invited me on his party in Glasgow, I think just before the COVID started, you know. And so that was my last gig for that years. Yeah, I think it was February or March. maybe end of February. Yeah. Wow, what a night. Amazing crowds, amazing people. I met all his friends, all his friends, you know, and I met also Ben, that is currently my manager. So Jack for me was like the person that opened a big door, you know, and I'm just jumping in, you know. So
awesome. What have you learned from him as a DJ? You know, because I know for the longest time he didn't put out any music. He was only a DJ. And so, you know, clearly that's how you got your start.
a very strong personality, identity. And when he's playing is in from people, and his energy is very nice. And I love his way to perform, you know. It's very spontaneous and also eclectic, because when you're playing all the same stuff, in my opinion, is good. Of course, it's good, but for me, it's boring. Because you have to create that moment that, you know, people are like, oh my God, what's happening right now? You know, so that's the things that we have in common. So it's nice to play with him, and I can't stop. I think, yes, I want to play with him a lot.
Have you guys thought about making music together as well?
Yeah, I think that is gonna be our second step. So I think that this year we start to make something together, 100%. Yeah.
Awesome. That's something I would be very excited to hear. Is he the one who introduced you to Skream? Because I mean, the reason I wanted to do this interview is because I saw you play at Coco, and that was phenomenal.
Wow.
That was phenomenal.
You were there?
Yeah.
Great. So you listen my full set, or just a part, only a part, or maybe, you know?
Probably like the first half I was there. It was a long day, so I wasn't fully prepared for the club, but I was very happy I saw your set, at least that part of it for sure.
Cool. I don't know who introduced me to him. Maybe Jack, but I don't know. I really don't know. I've never asked him before. It was a coincidence. Maybe, I don't know. I have to ask him. Yeah, definitely.
How did it feel to be invited to the residency?
When I discovered it, it was like when I discovered to play at Berghain, because for me, Skream is like a mentor, you know, for a kind of genre of music, dubstep, that is in the world, in UK, in US, and for me it was like an opportunity, you know. And also because I play very different stuff from him, and when we did the back-to-back at the end of that night, was crazy, because at some points we played similar stuff. I don't know. It was very strange, but we feel the energy. Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about how you like to merge older stuff with newer stuff. I would definitely describe Skream's style as very similar, because he's been doing it for so long. I've interviewed him before, and you know, just his knowledge of music goes so top to bottom. He's on top of what's new and knows everything about what's old. And so I could definitely see that really working together when you guys are DJing.
Yeah, and his production are very strong and massive. Oh my God, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the door's open for you to produce something with him as well.
Maybe, yes. You want to ask him? No, I'm joking. Maybe one day, yes.
That's what your manager's for. He gets paid.
That's fine. Yeah.
Cool. I want to shift gears a little bit, because something else that I read was that you have a master's in fashion product management from the polymoda. Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
And in following you on social media and other things, the clothes, a lot of the clothes that you wear when you're DJing and otherwise demonstrate a really keen eye for visual design. And I'm wondering, how does like the different forms of creativity of fashion and DJing and producing, how do they all kind of feed into each other?
Yeah, it's very interesting question. Yeah, I think that today I'm very involved to this kind of stuff. Not because it's a trend, but because I think that when I wear that clothes that are from my friends, is a very nice designer called Vivetta. I will be like I will have like a power. I don't know. I can't describe this moment, but when I am alone in the hotel and I open my baggage and there is, for example, a new clothes, I put it, and when I perform, it's like, that when I have like a big power. I can't describe this emotion, but for me it's like that. Yes, of course, I studied fashion for a year on that school, and of course that was for me an opportunity to understand who I am, because when you start learning something, your brain is more open to different stuff, so that's important. In fact, for younger people, I suggest to study, please. Yeah, because it's very important to understand and see the world and watch the world with a lot of eyes, and it's bring you on another planet, So for me, it's now very important, and I want to share a relationship with other designer, of course. I started now another relationship with a younger designer that worked with Versace, was called Nicola Bacchilega. And of course, Italy is the best place to do that, because it's full of fashion brands and people involved in this stuff. So it's a great place to live for that. And I hope also for music in the future, maybe. Yeah, we are very creativity as a person,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what I found interesting, you described how you felt when you put on those outfits. It almost seemed like, when a superhero puts on their like super suit, they get their superpowers and they're standing up there and
yeah.
like a whole different thing. I mean, it's obviously more human because, that's something like you talked about learning. You taught yourself
how much time you have to spend to create a dress, to create a boot. So when I put these things on my body, I give them importance, For that reason, it's like a superpower,
Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of similar, like the person who designed the dress is sharing their creativity with you the way you share yours with the people in the crowd. And it's what art is really about. If you make the prettiest dress in the world and nobody ever wears it and it sits in a closet, what is it really worth? It's it's very, very interesting. A quote that I read from you in a previous interview that I really liked, you said that you, quote, love to be carried off by the imagination. And I just have a couple kind of questions about that, because I think it's really interesting. And so when you were younger, did your imagination kind of carry you off to what you're doing now of traveling the world, playing music, wearing these superhero outfits type thing?
Yeah, it's this approach with music. I remember that feeling when I was younger, but I think that in the past I didn't have that kind of strong identity. Now I'm feeling better with this stress, with myself, you know, and but of course I was different from the others. My mom always said these things, yeah. And but I don't remember a moment or something that you know, yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think that I never imagined to became a DJ, you know. I don't think so, no. Yeah.
You met,
Politics.
yeah.
Maybe an ambassador or something with politics or something with ONG. Yeah, but something for people. So I think that is the great things. And I think that being a DJ is not only for me, but also for people, you know, because I'm doing this for all the people. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I'd like to think all the good DJs, they share that point of view for sure. You mentioned that, you know, you didn't have as strong of an identity, which is common for people when they're younger. And so I'm just wondering, what kind of helped you find your identity that got you to where you are today?
Yeah, studying different things. Yeah, I started with a classical undergraduate, you know. So I studied Greek, Latins, you know, all the stuff, philosophy. Then science politics opened my mind a lot. Of course, the passion for music. So learning how to play a piano, how to play an oboe, doing different stuff. Also, being a football player, you know, because you are into a team that is not, you know, it's important to stay there. Yeah, because you have to share with people something, you know. So all this stuff together helped me a lot to understand who I am right now. Yeah, you know.
Very cool. Yeah, that sounds. Yeah. It's like you said, the more it's always good to keep learning, to keep your mind open to new things, for sure. How does your imagination carry you off, like within the creative process, like when you're in the middle of a DJ set or producing? Is that?
I think I have a crazy style because, for example, my first EP, the one for Optimum Music. I remember that I wanted to create something that was similar to textiles. Yeah, you know, I'm crazy, of course, but organza is a very strange fabrics when you touch it. So I remember that when I produced that song, I put in my hands organza, and I wanted to create the same, but with music. You know, it's crazy. Yeah, and I'm doing this stuff every time. It's a lot of things.
I mean, that doesn't sound crazy. That sounds super cool to me, you know. I mean, like, everybody talks about how they're inspired, and everybody's, you know, whatever works for everybody. There's no right way to do it. But the fact that you have like this actual like thing that you can hold, it's like, I want this to make this musically. It's very unique for sure. It's super cool.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And the final question of this first part of the interview is, where do you think your imagination will carry you off into the future?
Oh my God, I don't know. I really don't know. I think that I want to travel more, play for more people, learn a lot about this job, because yeah, it's like a company. Yeah, a DJ is like a company, you know. And you are a manager. You are a manager, yeah, of yourself. So it's very hard to make it more and more bigger, you know. But yeah, I think that I want to learn a lot about this job, and doing what I'm doing. So yeah, I don't know.
Great. No, I mean, you don't have to know. That's the whole point. It's not, if you knew, it wouldn't be as fun, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. And so the next part is the speed round. Do you have any questions about that before we go?
I don't think so. No.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And so the first question is, do you prefer Elvis or the Beatles?
Elvis, of course. Yeah. Because it was crazy on that time. It makes some difference on that point. Yeah. Just being itself, was crazy. Yeah. Because he was doing something different and broke a kind of system just because the music was amazing and people loved it. You watched the movie?
I didn't see it, no.
No, it's amazing. I cried a lot. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very sensitive with movies.
Sensitivity is good for artists, for sure. I'm sure Elvis was very, very sensitive.
Yeah, but I'm not a very I'm a movie watcher, yeah, I have no time, believe me. Yeah, like sitcoms or something like that. I'm not a big fan of that because I have no time. Yeah.
Cool. I mean, so next question is, what is your raving pet peeve?
Oh my God. So I think when people are asking me music when I play, like, can you please play Calvin Harris? No, thanks. Yeah, because this is horrible. And also, I think the bathroom is not, the toilet, sorry, is not so close from the boot every time. Yeah, I have this problem because I don't use drugs, I don't use alcohol, I just drink water. And as you know, if you are playing for 2, 3, 4 hours, it's impossible, you have to go there. And every time is very, very far from the boots. That's, and maybe also, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, people that are asking you the Instagram name, now is a trend, or no, I think just this, yeah.
Cool. I mean, those are all, I
What's
certainly,
yours?
what was that?
Yours?
Oh, mine? It would have to be people who bring whistles and like noisemakers in the crowd. And it's like, I didn't pay money to listen to you blow your whistle or hit your drum or clack your fan.
Also a lot of people use a lot of the phones now, making videos. Yeah.
Cool. The next one is coffee or tea?
Tea. Yeah, I don't drink coffee. Yeah, is when I study peace building, that is very strange as it's very strange, but I remember that I read a book that is talking about non-violence things, and one of this was drinking coffee, drinking alcohol, use drugs that make you feel more violent as a person, also eating as eating meat is not that cool, but changing my life, yeah.
That's a very interesting perspective. I'd never heard that before. It definitely makes sense though. Do you like dogs or cats?
Dogs. Yeah.
Ramen or pho?
Ramen.
Pizza or sandwiches?
Pizza. Yeah, of course. Pizza. I mean, I'm a pizza lover.
Club or festival?
Today, I think festival. I don't know, but today, yes, festival maybe. Yeah,
Snow or beach?
beach,
Lake or ocean?
ocean.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Be Wonder Woman.
Nice. Analog or digital?
Boat.
House or techno?
House.
Drum and bass or trap?
Drum and bass.
Pop or hip hop?
Pop.
What's your favorite color?
Red.
Do you like pineapple on your pizza?
No. No.
Finish this sentence. Before I die, I want to.
I want to say hi to my mom. I don't know. I don't know.
The last one is, what's your guilty pleasure TV show?
I don't have it. Yeah, I don't have it. Yeah, because I'm not you know, I don't have time to do.
Cool. Well, that was the end of the speed round and the end of the interview as a whole.
So thank you for sharing this with me. Yeah.